Hey guys, Jad here, and I'm going to be doing something interesting today. I'm going to be reviewing a YouTube video actually. This has been a very anticipated video for me, the one that I'm reviewing. I'll put a link to the full video in the description if you want to see the video that I'm reviewing. It's only like 11 minutes long, so you can watch that and then watch this review. But today I'm reviewing the latest food battle by the YouTube channel Smosh. Yeah, this is Food Battle 2023. So this is a yearly thing that they've done on their channel. They haven't done it in 7 years, but from 2006 to 2016, they did these yearly videos where it would be, their sketch videos where they'd have Ian and Anthony, the real people. They play fictionalized versions of themselves, and they have this competition called Food Battle where they try and get their favorite foods to do the most everyday tasks in this catalog. But the catalog has some very weird things in it that you wouldn't really find in a catalogue. And every year, Ian has the same favourite food, pink frosted sprinkled donuts, and but every year Anthony has a new favourite food. In their flashback with Smosh video on it, they said that originally it was supposed to be the winner gets to keep their favourite food and the loser gets a new favourite food the next year, but they decided that Ian's favourite food, the pink frosted sprinkled donuts, were too iconic, so they just had that be his favourite food every year. Um, but yeah, in 2016 they kind of ended the series, and they ended it because Anthony was not happy with where the Smosh channel was, and but they still had a cliffhanger at the end where maybe it could be open to doing another one. But then Anthony left the next year, left Smosh altogether the next year. But earlier this year, Anthony returned to Smosh, and Ian and Anthony bought Smosh, so they own it fully now. So they've made classic style sketches, and I have been enjoying the stuff they've done recently. They've gone back to being good, in my opinion. So this latest food battle starts out where Ian has been married in the 7 years that since Food Battle ended, and it, he tells his wife about this thing he used to do called Food Battle with his best friend Anthony. And when his wife goes to get something out of the car, there's an explosion in the car, and his wife apparently dies. We find out later what really happened, but then Anthony shows up and says, like, it's been 7 years since the last Food Battle, but I challenge you. Yeah, I'm going to beat you this time. And this time his favourite food is a baguette. Um, and Ian says, like, if you think you're stupid, baguette. Yeah, and this will show how much of a Smosh nerd I am. But in Food Battle 2007, one of the challenges was to use it as a knife, and they cut a baguette, and Ian called it a baguette. Yeah, so I thought that was a nice reference in this that Ian still calls it a baguette. Um, and yeah, I think this is a really good food battle. I mean, my favourite food battle is still 2011, but I will say I think this new food battle is the first great one since 2012. Because I think 2012 was the last really great food battle, and I think in general 2012 was the last really great year for Smosh. I think 2013 their videos started to get kind of bad, but I think since Anthony returned earlier this year, their sketches have become good again. One thing I always love about the food battles is the creativity in what they make their food do. And yeah, one thing I liked that they did in this was one of the challenges was to be a Pokeball, which is cool because Pokemon has always been like a recurring thing that they always reference in Smosh videos. And yeah, they use their food to be like a Pokeball and catch something in it. And Ian catches this hot girl in a bikini in the donut. Uh, that being his Pokeball. And yeah, it's always been a running joke in the Smosh videos that like there's always a hot bikini girl in the food battle videos, especially. And there's also a running gag of like hot girls barfing on Ian, and they have that in this, which I thought it was really nice that they brought that gag back. And when Anthony uses his baguette as a Pokeball, he tries it on Ian's mom, and he wants to catch him. And Ian's mom is a recurring character in the Smosh videos, and she's especially been popular in the food battle videos, and she's played by Ian's real life mom, which is cool that they get her on the videos, and they often make her act really horrible in these sketches, and they reference like the thing like when Ian's mum kicks Anthony out the house. It's a reference to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air whenever they kick Jazz out the house, like when Uncle Phil would kick Jazz out the house. And they did that gag as well in Food Battle 2012, so that was a cool reference. And they also did that reference another time in the video where one of the challenges was for their food to be the president of the United States, and Ian's donut does nothing, so then it wins the round because it did nothing. And then Anthony's food wins because, you know, Anthony's last name is Padilla, and he says, you know, my name's Anthony Padilla, and you know that's a Spanish name. So then the baguette throws him into Mexico, and the way he's like thrown is into be like Jazz in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So I thought that was really funny. Yeah, and Anthony says, yeah, I'm not even Mexican. That was great. They also bring back the character of Stevie in this, played by the actor Ryan Todd. And this is the first time they've had the character in a food battle, I think, but he was a recurring character in Smosh since like 2013, and I was never really the biggest fan of the Stevie character. I mean, he was introduced in 2013, which is when I thought Smosh sketches kind of started to suck, and I always thought the character was just annoying, honestly. But I thought it was kind of cool to bring him back because the actor Ryan Todd, he used to be a main member of the Smosh cast, and he used to work behind the scenes, but he's now left Smosh. He's no longer a regular member of Smosh. So I thought it was cool that still, even though he's left Smosh mainly, they still brought him back just to play this character of his. So I like that at least. And you know, they have the reporter at the end, you know, who's in every food battle, played by Brian Rasmussen, who's an actor in Smosh who's been there since the very beginning. Well, he's not like a professional actor. He's just a friend of Ian and Anthony's. You know, in their early sketches, like they just had their friends be actors in it. But then when they got a bit of a bigger budget on their videos, they started hiring actors. So I think it's cool that Brian Rasmussen, who plays the reporter, was still able to return for this because he has a life outside of doing Smosh videos. Like they even said in the flashback with Smosh video, where they said like Brian's coming back to be the reporter. They said, you know, he has a life outside of doing this, so it's really cool that he still wants to return to play the reporter in food battle videos. So now I'm going to get into spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, I'd recommend checking it out and then watching this video. You know, the food battle video is in the description, so you can just check it out there. But yeah, so one thing about food battle, which is weird, and even in the flashback with Smosh video, they mention that this is weird. For some reason, the winner of food battle, it has nothing to do with who gets the most points. You know, who's able to do the most everyday tasks with their food. No, the winner is the person who doesn't die at the end. And yeah, so one of them always dies at the end, and somehow they're back to life the next year. Weird, but yeah. So what happens is the last challenge was for their food to be a parachute, but Ian cuts Anthony's line to his baguette parachute, and so he's gonna jump off the side of the building and then die. But then the reporter comes and says, Ian, you've just won Food Battle 2023. But then it turns out Anthony's still alive, and he used like this gum to attach himself to the building and then climbed back up. And that gum was what Ian gave to his wife before she died. And so then Ian said, like, well, wait, how do you have the gum? My wife had that when she you know was blown up. But then it turns out that Anthony was Ian's wife the entire time. You know, Ian found the gum right after the end of the Food Battle 2016, and at that time Anthony put on a female mask and pretended to be his wife for all those years. It's just so ridiculous. And then like Ian is like, and it's pretty creepy, but Ian finds it like come on, you always knew how to commit to a bit, and then they like bring it in and they hug each other, but Ian still has the scissors on him from when he cut Anthony's rope, and then the scissors stab him, so then he dies for real. Then Ian really does win, and then the reporter says, Ian, you've just won Food Battle. and then he accidentally stabs the reporter as well, and says like, "Well, what are you gonna do now?" Because that's always what he asks at the end of the food battles, and he says, "Please say you're going to go to a hospital." And he says, "I'm going to Disneyland." "Oh boy, Disneyland, can I come?" And then you see them going on a ride, and the reporter is dead, and yeah, he's just like, yeah. I mean, he's not going to stay dead. You know, just like Ian and Anthony, he's going to come back to life next year. And I mean, they've killed off the reporter as well in previous food battles. So yeah, so yeah, this food battle was fantastic. I hope you did check out the video itself before hearing me spoil the ending. But yeah, this is a fantastic food battle. And I think Smosh have gotten back to being good since Anthony returned this year. And you know, speaking of comedy duos returning, another great comedy duo has reunited recently, and that's Keenan and Kel, and they've recently made Good Burger 2, which is coming out tomorrow in the UK, which I'm looking forward to that. I'm really hoping that will be good as well. I hope they have still got it, just like how Smosh have still got it. So yeah, I'll review that as well when that comes out. And you know, I'll finish reviewing the vacation films as well. You know, I'll get to the Christmas one when it's Christmas time. And yeah, thanks for everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and bye.